But then we'd run the bar, we'd sell a little bit of booze and a little bit of food, and then we'd shut it down to about 10:30 and start packing it up, and we'd get out of the urban orchard about 3, 4, 5 a.m.
Wow, so it's a serious day,
And okay, so you're there for 200 people? 200 people
200
come
that's
through?
where we started, so 200 people.
And then so you're looking at that going, this is a cool space, people are liking this.
Mate, we literally, on the first night, it's like high-fiving each other, like, how good is this?
This is the best,
And when we're looking back on it, were we running at a profit? Absolutely no way.
Yeah.
And it took so much, I guess, time before we started to figure out what our time was worth, actually, where you're making profit, where the amount of time and preparation and everything goes into actually what you need to make to pay off your costs, because it's very, very easy to think that, you sell a beer over the bar for $10, and that, you think you're making $8, whatever, but reality is, it's far from that.
And so, so you're running that, but you're running all these other different small events, being, selling alcohol for other little pop-up events that were sort of happening, so you're just running around everywhere at that point?
We had...
Yeah, it was sort of the start of it, really. Like, once we did this, it's sort of like the greatest myth in the industry that we had some secret way of legislatively getting away with it, which was just a total myth, because we were extremely compliant and we just went about the processes that people just didn't know about at that point in time.
And that's, I guess, a bit of background on it. So the way Bar Pop started, essentially, I run the bars, I hold a liquor license, and so I have a catering liquor license, and essentially Chris coordinates the events, organises everything. We call him the Pop, so I'm Bar, he's Pop. Essentially, that's where the two things come together, and then when we sort of join forces, that's the Bar Pop. That's the thing where we have a little bit more love, a little bit more effort and stuff goes into it, and try to create a bit of experience.
So from that first summer doing it ourselves, we started to, I guess, realise that it's pretty difficult, and you need to actually trade more regularly than just 4 or 5 Fridays a year. So we started doing street festivals. It's just the emergence of these sorts of things as well. After both the street festivals sort of started to come alive, there's one in South Perth and one in Mount Lawley, Perth Street, Mount Lawley. But
we had councils hit us up, and I guess event organisers hit us up. So providing that service was the thing, and I think we got to the stage of doing 144 events in 1 year. There's one weekend where we had 14 events on in 1 weekend, and we're like running around like non-stop with like trucks, just rolling astroturf up and picking stuff. It was just mental.
How much staff did you have at that point?
We just had the three, me, Aedan and Gemma on full time, and then
Gabe and stuff helping out.
We onboarded a few more. And, majority of the workforce is casual still, but it was just it's manic, and you'd do an event and 2 would go well, 2 would go okay, and 2 would go terribly wrong. So
you're left off with nothing. It was,
and for all those hours,
exactly,
and
all
that
those
stress.
hours, so then I think we're in probably season 3 by now, where we're running 144 in a year. And then it's it's back to the drawing board. Let's work smarter, not harder, and another year, another lap around the sun, and pivot again, and then we developed Perth Craft Beer Fest. We developed a product called Feral Fest, which was one of our early on really proud moments.
That was a real high five moment, where we're looking around and there's we had the bucking bull and party lights, and it's all real basic stuff thinking about it now, but it's just trying to create those little areas where there's just a little bit more than just beer in a park, because that's I guess not what we realise that we are. We want to try and create all the things that's more than just a beer in a park. It's everything else. It's that feeling. It's the activity. It's something else there. And so that year was one of the moments where we started deciding, let's do less, but let's do it better. And we started then saying no to a lot of things.